Hello there, you, and welcome to the temple site of Canvar, where Tau researchers have just uncovered an ancient and mysterious tomb. Upon entering the tomb, they could see strange symbols which seemed to bend and shift as they tried to decipher them. So focused and intent on these symbols, they almost couldn't hear the dull chanting from outside. Slowly, it got louder and louder until it reached a full crescendo, and it could be heard in its entirety. Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. The Tau hastily ready their defenses around the outskirts of the temple, ready to receive the chaos charge. Will they be able to hold against overwhelming numbers in today's battle? But before we do kick off to today's fight, I just want to say a massive shout out to all the channel members who helped keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out the amazing Chainsaw Vengeance hoodies, available now on the ChaoticPinky store. Here we go now, you lovely sausages of the internet. 500,000 chaos here, about to descend upon our Tau lines. And yes, you did see that right, ladies and gentlemen. In amongst them are Corn Berserkers here, actual Space Marine Corps Berserkers as well. So the Tau have definitely got their work cut out for them as Marauders and Bloodletters here make their way forward to that front line. Now we have got a couple of Karut here who are going to try to engage in melee. Frankly, good luck to them. We have got a lot of firepower in the Tau line, so we've got 20 XV8 suits here, providing covering fire with that bolt of fire. No, it's pulse fire. Oh my, still got Space Marines on the brain here. Here we go, though. The crew coming into the melee charge here. Oh, and them Chaos Demons, man. They're not to be trifled with. But look at this. The crew are actually giving them a damn good run for the money here. That Tau firepower helping to eradicate lots and lots of them here from that front line. Meanwhile, the Renegade Gunners engaging in a melee frenzy here, it appears. Trying to just stab their enemies to death. That is what Corn does, though. Even though they got rifles, they're like, no, we're just going to go and stab them in the face. You can see, though, that a couple of them are choosing to use their last guns here to provide covering fire to that front line. But I've got to say, I'm really impressed with these XV8 suits. They've just been annihilating the front lines of chaos here. That concentrated pulse fire, though, it's so deadly. Look at that. Just rips open hundreds of units. Now we have got another flank on the other side here, which has been dealt with by the Crutes also. Seems that is mainly Renegade Gunners at the moment, so hopefully these guys can hold out and keep our flank protected. Oh god, this looks really awful under here. It always looks like a really brutal fight when it's got lots of trees around. I don't know why in this game, it just makes it look 10 times worse than it should be. But you can see, though, that the crew are stretching out that line to hold back and basically an entire wave. Look at that. Oh my, that is a lot of chaos that are coming in. Getting back down to our front line over here, though. It looks like all the crew have now been killed. The addition of Winged Furies coming to that front line has helped out the chaos a lot. They've also got a lot of Marauders in amongst them as well. Oh, look at this. We've still got crew pushing out, though, trying to hold back a flank. Mainly, again, Chaos and Renegades on this side. I was going to call them Renegade Gunners, but they're not really doing much gunning at this very moment in time. The Renegade Stabbers here coming in from the side. You can see there that we have got a group of Tau on this side trying to provide cover. Though it's going to be a lot harder for them. This is for mainly distracting the enemy from whence they come down from the flank. On this side, however, we're having a much greater time. Look at this. The Chaos have been trying to push around, but they have been met by the Tau wall of guns here. Just absolutely eradicating everything. The Tau's guns are so powerful. They really are. I still can't get over the fight we had with the Eldar, where the Tau just backed up and annihilated the Eldar in an open field. It was such a sad day for the Eldar. Let's see if they can pull off a similar trick here. Again, look, we've got these little groups here trying to hold flanks back. Meanwhile, Karut are pushing up to help them as best as they can. But these bloodletters are living up to their name, letting out lots of blood on the front line. Oh no, we've closed the gap here. The Fire Warriors in melee combat are absolutely awful. In the tabletop and in this. They just get absolutely decimated as soon as they get into melee combat here. I mean, look at this group. Bloodletters here, oh my. Letting out little prayers here. These are prayers leaking out onto the battlefield. The Chaos faction. There we go. Oh my days. A body bobsleigh, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've had a body bobsleigh. Look at them all sliding down the mountain, making this wonderful little neat pile at the base here. It's actually a lot. Look how many are consistently sliding down. That's hundreds and hundreds of them that are being cut down from the flank here from this group. So we can see that a couple of the Tau here and curous are pushing out from the center. That this is going to be their main defensive line here, trying to use the narrow gaps here of the temple entrance to hold back the Chaos wave. Oh man, that flanking maneuver just came out of nowhere here. Again, Chaos Demons just going to town here, tearing asunder. The poor old Fire Warriors barely standing a chance at this close range. Don't get me wrong, they've racked up almost 300,000 kills. They're doing pretty well still. You can see though that last fire focusing down here, the Tau. Oh, and the gunships there. The Hammerhead gunships annihilating vast swathes of the Chaos Horde, who are now also trying to push down this flank. Again, look at this. We actually managed to clear out most of them who are pushing down the side of the hill. That's pretty good. I think we've actually just opened up a bit more of a pathway on this side by piling up the bodies to allow the Chaos to flow in a little bit better. And now the Tau on the outside of the temple are going to suffer some horrendous death here at the hands of a core demon. You know what I mean? That's just not a way to go, is it? You're going to have your limbs ripped off. They're going to take great pleasure in it. It's just not going to be a happy day for anyone here. But you can see that this is where the Tau defensive plan truly comes into play here now. Using the Hammerheads and the Fire Warriors to funnel the enemies into these narrower doorways here, where they can really focus down their firepower, and it is already working wonders. You can see that we got this slow trickle of curous making their way forward, who are going to hamper the Chaos progress to no end here. So the Chaos have really got to start using them last guns now to try and annihilate the front lines of Tau here. You can see that some of the firepower is making its way through, but none of the Chaos are. Oh my, no. The Chaos are getting gunned down pretty heavily here. So it looks like now all Tau forces on the outside of the temple have been killed. The Chaos now are going to focus all their energy and trying to break through this gap. We've got about 7,000 defenders left here. You see curous filtering through the side. Tau are going to learn a valuable lesson today. If you find an ancient mysterious tomb covered in horrific looking symbols, probably best to leave it alone, lest you summon a blood god. Oh, look at this. Oh man, they're all just piling up in the doorways. We're gonna need a clean up here on aisle 6, 7, 8 and 9, I'm afraid. There's just too many. Now there is only 100,000 chaos left though, having said that. Only 100,000. And these 7,000 defenders, that is one hell of a kill ratio that the Tau are going to have to attain here. But again, they've got the defensive position here, and you can see them Hammerhead gunships are still fully active, and they are going to be providing a massive headache here for the Chaos. One thing that Chaos could do though is pile up the bodies around the outside here and perhaps create a new pathway, but I don't know if they've got the numbers for that. At the moment, they're just flinging everything through these doorways to try and get back into their own temple. I think we've got enough curous, though, actually holding position for now to keep them at bay. Oh, look at that. They are getting closer and closer, it does feel like, with every second here. They're trying to break their way in. You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in. What we're going to do, hit a little time-lapse camera here and see if the Chaos can start making their way through. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we come down to the last 10,000 chaos here. Their bodies have been piled up high here around the gatehouse, just throwing absolutely everything they had at it. But alas, it has not been enough for the chaos. Their numbers now starting to dwindle as they try to push forward, but the tower firepower in the area has been significant indeed. Look at this. We've only got a couple of renegade gunners left on the outside, as well as some marauders here. And they're all trying to funnel through these narrow gaps still. But alas, like I said, it has not been enough here. Oh my days, the poor old chaos. Oh my. But look at this though, ladies and gentlemen. The tower standing firm. They got very close to drowning themselves here today. But is this what chaos wanted all along? As the battle came to a close, the Tau stood there in astonishment. The stench of death littered the battlefield, and much blood had been spilt here today. However, before the Tau could celebrate their victory, the strange symbols around the temple began to glow. The Tau watched in horror as slowly the blood from the battlefield seemingly began to absorb into the temples. And the last thing that the Tau heard was a slow, unrelenting, dark laugh.